So let's shift a little bit and talk about security. So obviously, just like the amount of news around funding for infrastructure, there's probably the same amount of news about hacking, security, people taking over, using webcams, looking at whatever. What should these communities be thinking about when, I guess, or any issues around security they should be cognizant of when they're trying to design a network for the community?
I think you got to be really deliberate about two things: security, and I'll separate from that privacy, right? Because these are public networks that citizens are connecting to. You need to not only secure that network to avoid disclosure of personal information, but you have to be very careful about how you use the data that is generated on that network. And so, cities are leaning into this and developing, public policy around the treatment of data, as well as a cybersecurity infrastructure that they want to follow, because unfortunately there's been some pretty visible incidents, right, around breaches that have resulted in ransomware attacks and other things that have really hurt communities, right? And it's a setback not only financially or commercially, but also just in terms of how the technology is perceived and what resonates in the community and the risk that's perceived there. So you have to have a comprehensive strategy, not just understanding the technology, but the risks associated with it, and develop policies that are published so people know how the data that is generated on that network is going to be used by the government agencies that are managing it and their partners.
It's a fine balance of how much you want to lock it down versus usage, right? Yeah. We'll have some communities that will not only lock down the network from a security standpoint, but from applications, right? And so if you can't use Netflix, then what's up? Why, I want to use it for schooling, but I also want to use it for fun.
Who, I guess, who does have the obligation though, right? So, I mean, is it the person who's using the technology? Is the person who's building the infrastructure? Is it the community? Who has that, I guess, obligation to make those rules? And we talk a lot about digital equity. I mean, digital equity means equal access, right? And so, who should, I guess, or who within the community should be having that discussion?
Well, I think the leaders that are funding and operationalizing these projects need to have a security policy and strategy that is open to scrutiny and public review. But we all have a personal responsibility too, right? As users of this network to be aware of what those policies are and share information and access those assets accordingly, right? According to our own preference. But I think this is another area where, frankly, a lot of people, for the sake of convenience, give up the opportunity to understand what the terms of service are, right? We all do it. We all just click through the fine print because I want to get online and stream Netflix, as Al mentioned, right?
Yeah.
I don't mind getting retargeted by all the ads with the new shirt I should buy or the new next toy I should buy. It's okay, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
You can't mind that. That's your business, man.